The best way to get better at programming is to practice. And in this example, we're going to do a recursive function by calculating the factorial. Now, we've done this previously using a loop. As always, this example is available for download in the link provided below in the description. You can pause this video and then use it to check your answer, or if you get stuck, use it to help you get unstuck. All right, so how are we going to calculate the factorial using a recursive function? Well, the first thing we're going to need is a function. So we're going to say def factorial, and it's going to have a number. Now, if you remember from our previous example in the repetition module, a factorial is the number, and then it's times the number minus 1 times the number minus 1 from that number, on and on and on. So 5 factorial is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Now, if I just call factorial subtract 1, this is going to work, and then it's going to get into negative numbers, and it's going to keep giving those values. So we always need a way to exit from a recursive function. So you quite often see something like if num is less than or equal to 1, we're going to return 1. Else, we're going to return num times factorial num minus 1. So what this does is if we pass in, for example, 5, it's going to say 5 is assigned to num in that parameter. If 5 is less than 1, it's not, so it goes to the else. So we return 5 times factorial of num minus 1. Now, we don't know what that number is just yet, so it's going to kind of put a little pin in it, hold that value, and then it's going to call factorial again. Num minus 1 is 4, so it's going to say, is 4 less than or equal to 1? Nope. In that case, it's going to be 4 times 3. Well, we don't know what factorial 3 is. So we're going to look at 4, and it's going to say factorial 4 is 4 less than or equal to 1. No, so it's going to return 4 times factorial of 3, because 4 minus 1 is 3. Now, we don't know what factorial 3 is just yet, so what we're going to do, we're going to call this again, and again, until num equals 1. This is going to return 1. And once we get a 1 and we don't have any other function calls, then it's going to be able to give us the answer and roll that back again and again and again. So how are we going to call this? Well, I'm going to create a main function, and I'm going to print factorial. Now I'm going to have my test, if underscore underscore name, and I'm going to run this. It's going to spit out an answer. And I can put in increasingly larger numbers. It's amazing how just going up a value of 10 from 5 to 15, you see a huge difference in numbers. And this is true of anything that's factorial in nature, because now you have whatever the value was before times a larger number, times a larger number. And so the growth of a factorial number is very, very large. And if I put factorial 25, just 10 more, you can see it's orders of magnitude larger. So this is how we have a simple recursive function, something that uses factorials. And a factorial is a common thing you see in math, so it's a good example that we can process there. We have other recursive function examples, as well as many other Python examples that you can practice. So use this channel to help get better at programming in Python.